We produce almost $2 billion worth of cocoa. We just produce it and we export the seedlings to Belgium, to Switzerland. And in less than 6 months, the 2 billion value turned into $120 billion. And yet we just exported 2 billion. We are so rich, but we don't see it. Having eyes does not guarantee your sight. There is a clear difference between having eyes and having sight. There are a lot of people that have eyes, but they don't have sight. And without sight, you cannot have insight.
Orofo Lotson TV Pro Max, and made one of the greatest prophets that ever lived, in the person of Prophet Kusi Boateng. The message we na made bro. Now, as usual, I said the other dad the message bro on the way very powerful for the nation Ghana and for us as individuals. Most of us have eyes, as you know, opportunities. Yes, Kusi Boateng Prophet. So you can pray for God to open your eyes. Oh my Ghana, in here say any be. You were all the riches. You were gold. You were timber. You were cocoa. You were lots of natural resources. Now so you're packing as exports. Ni aji se kafia. Na emrofui akoya ama. The omtono kakra we hono omonya mfasu boom billions or millions of dollars. And on that Kusi Boateng Prophet, Papa Kase. You can have eyes, but you cannot see. May God open the eyes of Ghana.
I continue my message on in seeing and in hearing. Tell 3 people in seeing and in hearing. Come on, tell about 10 people. Rise up. Tell about 10 people. Tell them in seeing and in hearing. Having eyes does not guarantee your sight. There is a clear difference between having eyes and having sight. There are a lot of people that have eyes, but they don't have sight. And without sight, you cannot have insight. I have come to understand in life that your father not taking you to school is not responsible for your failure. I have come to understand in life that your mother not taking good care of you is not responsible for your failure. I think I've come to a place in life to conclude that you are responsible for your failure. And so I advance on my message in seeing and in hearing. Zooming in on in seeing. In Matthew chapter 8 verse 18, can you read it for me?
Matthew chapter 8, reading from the verse 18.
Matthew chapter 8 verse 18.
Now when Jesus saw great multitude about him, he gave commandment to depart unto the other side. And a certain scribe came and said unto him, Master, I will follow thee wheresoever thou goest. And Jesus said unto him, The foxes have holes, and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man had not where to lay his head. And another of his disciples said unto him, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. But Jesus said unto him, Follow me, and let the dead bury their dead.
I'll try to bring in a lot of characters for you to understand that you could even walk with Jesus and be deficient. Jesus could be standing by you. Jesus could be your driving force. In fact, Jesus could be holding your hand and you still could be hovering around defeat. So it is not about who stands before you, but it is about how you see who stands before you. Can you imagine Jesus seeing a great multitude and then giving a command for every one of them to leave and to depart? Then there was a particular scribe who came to Jesus and he said, "Teacher, I'll follow you wherever you go." That is to say, make a step and I'll follow your footsteps. And Jesus said, "Are you very sure of what you want to say and your decision?" Jesus says, 4 6 have holes and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man had nowhere to lay his head. I am the Son of Man, I have nowhere to lay my head. Are you sure you want to follow me? This man's decision was not known. We are still left in a limbo whether this man still followed Christ, although he's the ultimate and the all in all. And then another disciple, also being a disciple of Jesus, not part of the multitude, said, "Lord, let me go home first to bury my father, because my father is dead." He was a disciple. He had been segregated from the multitude. But look at the response. The disciple also says to Jesus, "Let me first go and bury my father," forgetting that here stands the resurrection and the life. And yet he was a disciple. And how you can be a disciple standing before Jesus and you ask permission to go bury your father, and yet the resurrection and the life stands before you. I want to establish this, that it is not who stands before you that matters, but it is how you see who stands before you. Is it not very interesting and depressing when we realize that Africa is so rich in terms of natural resources and human capacity? And yet, look at this analogy. Ghana, I think, is the second largest world producing cocoa. We produce almost $2 billion worth of cocoa every year. We just produce it and we export the seedlings to Belgium, to Switzerland. And in less than 6 months, the $2 billion value is turned into $120 billion. And yet we just exported $2 billion. We are so rich, but we don't see it. We export raw gold and we import it 20 times the price. How Christ, the resurrection and the life, can be standing before you and you are telling him, "Let me go and bury my father first." How you can have an opportunity, how you can have a door opened, and yet you cannot maximize your opportunities. Why? Because you cannot see. But I pray that after this, the Lord shall open your eyes, that you shall not just have eyes, but you shall have eyes to see. Tell 5 people in this place, I pray God gives you eyes to see. There are some of you who can create the computers of your future. It is inexistent, but you can create it. What do you see? Or you just want to settle for anything? I have seen a lot of women say, already said the Messi Atna Sia Brady Minya Dio Krodan in Nabia Mefanesa. One way a crobia ube miano. When you the Krodan in Nabia, Ubeshiano Crane Cronin to now shall say Ushiana. Now Umia Krona shall say too. What do you see? You see, we live in an environment and in a society that if you don't see anything, the society is comfortable with you. But the moment you begin to see, they'll say, oh, you are proud. Oh, you are proud. We've got to define pride as it is. Pride has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them. When we talk about pride, it has nothing to do with you. It is about how you relate to people and thinking yourself higher than them. That is what pride is. But when you have the confidence and you are prayed and you have a drive, you have a vision, you know, I didn't bargain for Leah, I bargained for Rachel, and they give you Leah. You want to stand up because you are not for Leah, you are for Rachel. You want to rise up and go for what you believe. And that is why some of you should see higher and change even the educational dynamics around your life. Some of you should rise up for what you see. You realize, as I teach you next week, to understand that you can see and have it manifested. No, I'm not talking about what they think of what you see. Let's not go far. Did you see how people were ridiculing Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo? Just about 8, 10, 15, 20 years ago, his own party people. How can this man become a president over a dead body? And I pray that when they question where you are going and they say it shall be over their dead body, may you see the barrier of their dead bodies, because it will surely come to pass over their dead bodies in the name of Jesus. Over their dead bodies. For their funeral ceremony, I thank God you shall be present at their Thanksgiving service, because it will surely occur over their dead bodies. Some said he was a short man, but I never saw a scale for presidency. And I never saw a caliper. A caliper is what is used to measure sizes and all that. I never saw a caliper in presidencies. They can only use the caliper on you when you allow them to use it on you. See what you see, because they are not going to be the implementers of what you see. They don't see the way you see. They'll disqualify, especially when they have dated you, they have married you, and they have jilted you, and you are single, and all that they wish is that you never get married. And they begin to question this Subai says, Subai we say, Baba way over my dead body, she can never be married. But I pray that because of you, may there be a funeral for their lives. How the Bible says that he had worked for Rachel, but he was given Leah. Some of you have labored for Rachel, but you'll be given Leah. If you settle for Leah, that is your duty. But I pray that you package yourself and you know where you are driving towards. Because I said everything you see here, the church that you see here, was as a result of what somebody saw. This building is as a result of what somebody saw. So you can also see, to let it become a reality. When people were walking with their legs and they were sitting on donkeys and chariots, there was a gentleman in Germany. He was called Karl Benz. Karl Benz. He said, can't we do anything locomotive that in the event that all donkeys die and all chariots are not usable, we can use that locomotive? So he started to see. He tried so many times, he failed. Let me tell you this. Some of you have tried so many times, you have failed. Don't give up. Continue to see. Let me tell every one of you hearing my voice, failure is an opinion. Failure is not a condition. You might have tried and tried and tried, not until you realize what you see. Don't give up. Do you realize that 25 years ago I was called a failure? Mommy out of love, mom, grandma out of love said, Victor, school now went to me and when you there, what boom abem. And that thing was always hunting me. And so I always stood in the mirror and told myself, no. She brought you into life, but I am taking you into life. She brought you to, I'm taking you into. There are two separate dynamics. And the fact that you failed 20 years ago will not make you a failure. You are not a failure because there have been failures. All you need to do is just to concentrate and focus and know where you are going to. And as a man who was declared a failure, who had Christ in me, the hope of glory, who has been able to be dragged to where I am, and still I'm seeing, I want to tell you today that begin to dream, begin to see, begin to have a focus, begin to have a purpose. But then as I develop it, I'll let you understand that it is not everybody you've got to share your dreams and your visions with. Because there are some people that if it will take you 1 month to realize your dream, they will complicate it into becoming 20 years. Don't let anybody influence what you see. If there is anything you see and hear, let it add up to where you want to be. Because for their own convenience and comfort, they will give every reason why you have to be where you are. But you know what I see? I see years to come. There are prophets in this house. There are evangelists in this house. I can see years to come. There are parliamentarians in this house. I can even see that there are presidents from this house. I don't care how they see you, but I prophesy over you that whatever you see, whatever your vision, I came to speak over your life and prophesy over your life that it is coming.
Wow. This is a great and powerful message by all standards. Odiasa kama chato. Other for following our Lordson TV, the mother channel. Lordson TV, LORDSON, Lordson TV. And now set baby out here. Lordson TV Pro Max. Following all social media handles: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Hit the notification bell here on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, now please share. God bless you. Bye-bye.